Chad Hasty Show News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Early voting has begun. Congratulations. You get to go out and vote today. And joining me in studio, he has a sticker on that says, I voted. And he's asking for your vote. Judge Phillip Hayes, candidate, of course, for County Court at Law number 3. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Chad. Thanks for having me. And yes, I voted this morning, 8 o'clock. I was probably the third person in line, and my wife and I were able to get out this morning and then get our day started.
Well, very good. Tell folks about County Court at Law number 3 and why folks should vote for you.
Great. County Court of Law number 3 is a court of general civil trial litigation here in Lubbock County. It's uniquely set up in Lubbock County to handle all of the civil cases that fall within the jurisdiction of that court. It's mainly family law, probate, guardianship contest, when people are losing their liberties because they can no longer make health care decisions for themselves or they can no longer make their own financial decisions. Usually a family member has to step in and be appointed as a guardian for those individuals. And so there's liberties that are being weighed in that courtroom every day, whether or not someone is competent to handle their own affairs. The will contest, obviously, when Granddaddy dies and leaves his will and somebody's unhappy with the way things are going to be divided, there's going to be a will contest, and that happens more often than you would think. Yeah. Family law cases deal with everything from adoptions to divorces, child support, child custody issues, and then there's other civil trial cases that go on in that court. Your low-budget car wrecks, your business disputes between neighbors or partners in a business or something like that, or if you feel you've been wronged by someone, you can bring your lawsuit in that courtroom.
So this is a very serious court, and very serious for people to know what goes on and for them to make an informed decision, which a lot of times, as you probably know, when people are going out and they're voting for the judicial races, people aren't always informed when they go out and vote.
Well, that's exactly right. And many people confuse this court with what's going on at the county level, at the county court.
Right.
Whenever you're talking about a county judge and then the county court at law judge, people get that confused. I've been asked dozens of times, are you running against Gary Bourne? Are you running against Karen Gibson? And I have to inform them that, no, this is a trial court. And then in the county court, they have original jurisdiction for probate and guardianship matters and mental health matters. But when they become contested, they come into my courtroom.
Right.
And so a lot of people are not aware of what goes on down at the courthouse. They're welcome to come into any of the courtrooms in the courthouse at any time. They are open to the public. They can watch what happens. It's certainly not as exciting as it would be on television when you see the courtroom dramas going on there, but they're certainly open, and people can come in and sit down and witness what goes on in any courtroom in Lubbock County.
So the contested cases, they go from the county judge level to the county court level, and you have an opponent in this.
I do.
What's the differences between you and your opponent?
Well, we both are experienced trial lawyers. There's no question about that. Mr. Nelson is saying he has 40 years of trial experience, and no one doubts that. And I have 27 years of representing individuals here in Lubbock County in matters that come before my court. I believe that's why the Commissioner's Court appointed me unanimously based on my experiences and the types of cases that are tried in our court. My opponent has not had the experience in family law, guardianships, probates, the primary things that go on in this court. I'm certain that he has accomplished a lot with his law practice in 40 years, and I guess he should have. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been in practice for 40 years. But his practice has been in different areas in different courts. And so when the commissioners were selecting the 12 of us, they chose me because of my experiences in this courtroom. I believe that that now comes through as the judge, that I don't have to learn the law. I don't have to understand the procedures that go into a family law case or into a probate contest or whatever.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, for those who don't know, what is the learning curve on these type of cases, and why is it that experience matters in a race like this?
Well, there is a learning curve. I don't care who's going into that courtroom. They have to learn how to manage the courtroom, how to manage the docket, and we've been very successful in doing that for the last 3.5 months since I was appointed. But also, there are things that are innate in the character of the person that is being put into that position to make those tough decisions. As you said, this is a serious court, and these are serious life-changing decisions, whether or not one parent's going to have the ability to have their children for the weekend, or whether they're going to get no visitation, or we're actually changing custody from one parent to another because of circumstances that are that the parties could have controlled themselves, but they didn't. And when they come in and they ask for ask a court to make a decision for them, it's because mediation has failed, the parties have not been reasonable with one another in trying to reach an agreement, or it's just gotten to the point where the vitriol between the parties has gotten to where somebody needs to step in and make a decision, and that's what judges do. They make serious life-changing decisions for the litigants.
Judge Hayes, tell folks where they can find out more information about yourself.
Absolutely. They can visit our Facebook page at Judge Phillip Hayes for County Court at Law Number 3. They can call our phone line, which I don't call it much myself, so I'm going to have to read it to you. But that's at 806-701-3910, or they can contact me at the Lubbock County Courthouse. I'll be glad to visit with them and answer any questions they might have.
All right. Judge Phillip Hayes, appreciate your time today, and we wish you the best of luck. And, of course, remind folks that early voting has begun, so get out there and vote. You have a lot of time to get out and vote, so no excuses.
Well, there is a lot of time, and through next Friday, March 2nd, the early voting will continue. I would encourage people to vote early because Election Day, notoriously, it's going to be bad weather. You're going to have a car problem. Kids are going to have to go to the doctor. Something's going to prevent you from making that vote on that day. So early voting is a great opportunity to get out and use your franchise and do that.
Judge Phillip Hayes, candidate for County Court at Law Number 3. Appreciate your time today.